It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body, supplements that get you moving and keep you moving, that make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to today's training. So this is Nilbert Ng joining you from San Diego, California. I am a retired naval officer after 23 years of service, and I'm now building in this industry. When I was introduced to this opportunity about 2 years ago, I was already an entrepreneur with a couple of traditional business platforms. However, after experiencing remarkable results with the products and after seeing the business model and the comp plan, I jumped in with both feet. And it has been such a remarkable journey for me, both health-wise and financially. So I'm so blessed to be part of this community, and I'm truly honored to be with you today. I'm excited you're here because what we're going to talk about today is a true multiplier in our industry. Something that doesn't cost anything but builds everything. It's something that leaders do without even thinking about it. But when you learn to do it intentionally, it transforms your influence. It's something that is actually used in a lot of industries, including the military. We did this a lot, especially when we were introducing special higher ranking officers and speakers. So what I'm talking about is we're going to dive into the power of edification. Let me ask you this. Have you ever experienced walking into a room and someone was supposed to introduce you? And and the way they introduced you made you feel like $1 million, like gave you so much confidence because of of how they introduced you. Feels good, right? Now flip it. Have you ever met or have you ever had someone just casually say, this is John, he's on the team, and you're left there, standing there like that's it? So that's the difference between simple introduction and true edification. Edification is a type. It's not about exaggerating things or inventing stuff about the speaker. It's actually providing honor to your speaker, to your guest, to your mentor. It's the secret sauce of influence. In our industry, where trust, posture, and belief are everything, this is your shortcut to all three. The power of edification. What is edification? Okay, well, edification means to build up, right? To speak highly of someone in a way that builds their credibility and positions them as someone worth listening to. All right? It transfers trust and belief to others. Why is this important? Well, okay, in our industry where let's say you have a prospect and you get the prospect in front of your sponsor, your upline, your leader, who's actually going to do the presentation and share the opportunity to that prospect. Well, you have to remember you're the one that has the relationship with the prospect, right? The prospect doesn't know who your upline or your leader or who your speaker is at all, other than having to make the introduction. So that's your opportunity to transfer that trust and belief to that speaker by edification. And you're not going to do it by flattery. You're not going to just flatter, just mention things that flatter your speaker. You're not going to exaggerate, as well. It's authentic recognition with purpose, right? In our world, that could mean edifying your mentor before a Zoom call, a fellow teammate, like during a group meeting, a team, or a live meeting, right? Or even a company when you're promoting a product. So people, I love this quote by Mary Kay Ash, right? People will do more for recognition than they will for money. Okay. All right. So why does edification matter? Okay. Well, as we already mentioned earlier, it builds instant trust and connection. All right. It creates third-party leverage. You are leveraging your speakers, whether that person is your mentor or your upline, your sponsor, you're leveraging the person's experience, right? And you're transferring, you're basically transferring your belief in your sponsor, in your speaker to your prospect, right? And what does that do? Well, it helps reduce resistance from the prospect, right? Because if I was the prospect and I was introduced, okay, I get on a Zoom and I'm going to listen to this opportunity, and my friend who got me, scheduled for the Zoom introduces this person who I have no idea who that person is. I have no reason to just trust the person right off the bat, right? But I trust my friend or I trust, the person who invited me, right? That's probably one of the reasons why I'm on the Zoom. Well, when that person does a good job of edifying the speaker, that trust transfers to the speaker, and it helps reduce any kind of inhibitions or resistance I may have with upon listening to the opportunity, right? And then when we do this, across our teams, when we encourage our teams to practice this, it encourages duplication. Okay. And then it elevates the culture and builds belief in our organization. So, like how we broke it down, it creates belief before the experience, right? The person, before even hearing the opportunity, already has this sense of, wow, this person must be someone who's really experienced, has a lot of experience in this industry, or has already helped so many people, whether it's with the health or with the business, right? So before someone hears your mentor speak, your edification gives them a reason to listen. Okay. When your team hears how you speak about others, they can see your leadership level, and that is contagious, and that will duplicate in your team. Okay. It creates a culture of honor, right? So a culture where people feel seen, valued, and uplifted. And that will cause people to stay because, you know, people stay where they feel celebrated, right? Uh, this quote by Ed Millett is very applicable. When you honor others publicly, you multiply trust privately. Okay. So, okay, next, who and when to edify? All right. Well, there's your upline mentors when it comes to Zoom and events, right? Downline teammates in team chats or social posts, your company and its leadership. So when we have our events, whoever is going to introduce the next speaker, always does a great job. If you've been to our events, our launch, our convention, our leadership conference, right? The person who introduces the next speaker and all that always does a good job, a great job of edifying that person and the company, right? Because it builds trust, right? It builds trust in not only the leadership of the company, but the company itself and its products, right? And who else? Guest speakers at any event. If you have a special guest speaker, right? Whenever our CEO Daniel Piku has like the amazing Dr. Gubler on, I mean, we all know Dr. Gubler, but every time our CEO introduces Dr. Gubler, he does an amazing job of edifying Dr. Gubler, right? So to recap, who should we edify? Your mentor, your teammates, your leaders, your company, events, right? And when do we do this? Three-way calls, right? We do a lot of three-way calls because we connect our sponsor or our upline with our prospect. A lot of times that's the first contact. If they haven't seen the opportunity yet, a three-way call, or three-way text message, you can edify your sponsor, your upline, whether it's a call or a message. Events, social media posts, right? During Zoom intros, when we do a lot of Zoom opportunity calls, right? Because we're leveraging technology, right? And then obviously, we do a lot of team chats. So anywhere where people are watching and listening, you have a chance to model edification. Okay. So how do we edify? So I like to use the three P's formula, as I'd like to call it. Okay. So praise, personality, and purpose. Okay. First one, praise. Okay. We highlight achievements. For example, like she's helped over 1,000 families with natural health, right? That's a pretty significant achievement, right? We also highlight their personality, their character. Okay. He's a servant leader, full of heart, always showing up to uplift other people. Okay. And then we highlight purpose. We're giving the audience a reason why they should listen to your speaker. All right. For example, she's here to show you how to win, just like she's helped me. All right. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, here's a pro tip. Keep it natural, and from the heart. If you already have a good relationship with your sponsor, your upline, you already know how your upline has helped you, then everything should come naturally, right? Edification isn't a script, it's a mindset, right? Every time you're introducing someone, it has to be part of our mindset to highlight their personality, highlight, give them praise, and then, highlight their purpose. Okay. So, common mistakes that we all need to avoid, right? Because it's pretty easy to make these mistakes, actually. Sometimes people get nervous, right? And then, things happen. So let's hit a few landmines you want to avoid. Number one, skipping edification altogether. Well, yeah, that's a big, missed opportunity right there because you missed the opportunity to build belief and to transfer the trust. Now, it's going to be a lot harder for your speaker or, your mentor, your upline to achieve that level of trust with the prospect, right? Now, the upline will have to like really kind of introduce themselves a little bit more. And a lot of times, when people definitely when people try to edify themselves, it doesn't come across as effectively. Okay. All right. Overhyping, inauthentically. That's also a big no-no, right? Don't use, extreme exaggerations, hyperboles, or whatnot, right? She's the greatest person in the world, right? Because it won't feel real, right? To the listeners. Like, okay, keep it authentic, right? Keep it real. Um, Making it about yourself instead of the expert or event. This is also a common pitfall. Okay. When you introduce or edify someone, it's about lifting them up and building their credibility in front of your audience, right? So it's not about showing off your connection with the speaker. This is a very common mistake. And then lastly, we never ever compare or diminish others to build someone up. It's a big no-no. Okay. You don't have to tear someone down to build someone else up. Okay. Because in our community, in our organization, our purpose is to help each other and help uplift each other. Does that make sense? All right, let's go with some practical examples, okay? Uh, kind of give us a chance to practice a little bit. So here's an example of a weak introduction slash edification, right? This is Sarah. She's my upline. That's it. So, now it'll be up to Sarah to kind of build her credibility. And like I said, whenever you try to edify yourself, it doesn't come across as effective. Okay. But here's a strong version of an edification when we introduce Sarah. Okay. This is Sarah. She's helped over 500 families find natural wellness solutions. She's an incredible coach and mentor. And I'm so excited to you get to hear from her tonight. That will build Sarah's credibility. That will transfer trust to the audience and gives the audience a reason, wow, okay, maybe I should listen to Sarah because, she's helped so many people with health and wellness. Okay. So, and here's another example that I'd like to share with you. It's an actual edification introduction I did for one of our amazing leaders. Okay. You guys can just guess who it is. I'm not going to tell you who it is. Okay. But this is how the edification goes. It is an absolute honor to introduce a powerhouse in our industry, someone whose results speak volumes, but whose heart speaks even louder. He is a multi eight-figure earner in this space, a true visionary who has built global success. In his career, he built his business into over 150 countries, a testament to his leadership, strategy, and relentless drive. So, how's that for edification, right? When you hear, someone talk about a person like that, wow, this person, is so successful. He's spread his business into over 150 countries. Heck, I want to learn from that person, right? I want to listen to what he has to say. Okay. So if you want to take it up a level, so practice this with your team, right? Assign partners and practice edifying each other with the 3 Ps, right? Watch what it does to team morale. Okay. All right. Call to action. Okay. So here's your challenge, right? Edify someone daily this week, whether it's in a post, a call, or in person, right? It could be anyway. It could be your mentor. It could be a teammate. It could be, the company, right? Actually, what I forgot to mention earlier, edification goes both ways too, right? So when you're on a three-way call or message, or you're on a Zoom and you introduce your upline, your speaker, you do your edification to build trust and to help the speaker connect. But when you introduce your prospect, you can also do edification that way. Now, what does that do, right? Well, when you introduce your prospect, by edifying your prospect, it actually helps the prospect feel like really important and really valued, right? Wow, like okay, this person, my friend is introducing me to this person, but he or she will kind of see that it's not only a one-way thing, that the person who invited them and the speaker value their time as well, right? So it goes both ways. So edify someone daily this week. It doesn't matter who. It could be your mentor, it could be your teammate, right? It could be the company. Make sure you use the three P's formula, right? When you introduce somebody, okay? And then teach your team. Share this with your team. Model it, talk about it, practice it, right? Great teams edify, because edification creates belief before the experience can, right? So edify those around you with words that empower, not belittle, right? Greatness multiplies in an atmosphere of belief. I really want to thank every one of you for being here today. I believe, in what we are building here, this movement that we have, this global movement that, again, I already mentioned that I'm so blessed to be a part of, right? I believe that when we get skilled and great at edification, we can multiply our leadership, our influence, and our impact. So let's go build and spread this movement, or spread this global movement, practice edification, right? And practice our leadership. And let's go get this. So thank you, everyone. This is Nilbert signing off from San Diego.